So if we're friends on social media already, you pretty much know that I've been following a vegan plus seafood diet for about almost 2 years now. I started off as an alkaline vegan, and that was pretty strict. I did that for about 6 weeks, and I decided to add a few more things to my diet, which were still vegan, but off of that alkaline guide. And I did that for about 5 months, and I decided to incorporate seafood every now and then. So I've been doing that consistently since March of 2016. With the seafood, it's been since about August or September of 2016. I am currently working on a book that will help other people on their journey to living more of a plant-based lifestyle. It will be including tips, recipes, and just a little bit more of my journey in how I think I would have wanted to be supported in my initial stages of that journey. So I'll have more details about that coming soon. Stay tuned for the video. Hi, I'm Asha Cerise. Today I wanted to invite you all into my kitchen so that we can cook a meal together. Let's see what's on the menu. Today we're going to be making Buddha bowls. It's called a Buddha bowl because it's in a bowl and it's round like Buddha's belly. It's basically a great way to get clean, healthy eating into a well-balanced portion for you to enjoy. So let's go over our ingredients. So for our Buddha bowl, we're going to use red quinoa for our base / grain / protein. We're going to add some butternut squash, mushroom, broccoli, some potatoes, chickpeas or garbanzo beans, whatever you refer to them as, and a little avocado. So one of my main tips when cooking and making vegan dishes is seasonings and spices are everything. It can make or break a meal. So these are the spices that I'm going to be using today. Turmeric, chili powder, pink Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, cumin, curry powder, garlic powder, ground cinnamon, basil, and oregano. So we have all of our vegetables chopped up. We have, once again, our broccoli, our portobello mushrooms, our russet potatoes, our butternut squash. We have our chickpeas, and we have our quinoa. And I decided to chop up a little bit of garlic and onion because it's going to taste well with the flavors of the chickpeas. So I went ahead and preheated the oven to 400. So I'm going to go ahead and put my russet potatoes and my butternut squash in the same pan. A little oil at the bottom here. Okay. So I'll just put a little bit of olive oil on top of the veggies, and I'm gonna go ahead and get them seasoned. Shake that up, make sure those clumps don't get out. So I like to use a little Himalayan pink sea salt. I do not use table salt, iodized salt. Pink Himalayan sea salt has definitely been a good change for me. It has a lot of health benefits, more so than the table salt that's not good for you. So look into that. I like to season all of it with a little garlic powder. And I don't tell people how much seasoning to use. You basically have to utilize your own taste buds. So I like to use chili powder on the butternut squash. Cinnamon. and cumin. Almost out, gotta re-up on my cumin. Also, on the potatoes, we're gonna put a little bit of pepper. Oregano. Basil. And turmeric. Turmeric also has a lot of health benefits that you should look into. Wonderful spice to use. And gives a beautiful color as well. Saffron. My creative space is actually the same color. Same color as turmeric. So I added a little bit more seasoning after I tossed it around, and a little bit more oil so that won't dry out in the oven. The oven is already on 400, as you can see. And I'm going to place it. All right, so now we're going to get started with our quinoa. I'm using red quinoa today. So this is going to be 1 cup. So I'm going to use 1 cup of vegetable broth. It just adds a little bit of flavor. And then we're going to add 1 cup of spring water. So you put this on high and bring it to a boil. Uh-oh, wrong one. Put this on high and bring it to a boil. And once it is boiling, you lower it and let it simmer with the pot, with the lid on, and cook it for about 15 minutes. So I like to season mine with a little salt. All right, so now that the quinoa is at a boil, we're gonna turn it down to about medium, a little bit less than medium, and cover. Simmer, simmer, 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my chickpeas. I'm going to, I always do the wrong one. I'm gonna turn on the eye and put a little olive oil in the pan. And I wanna go ahead and start with a little garlic and yellow onion. And let that saute a little bit. All right, our garlic and onions are starting to simmer now. So now I want to add the chickpeas. I left the juice from the can in there because I like to let that kind of boil down. All right, so I'm going to season with a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, not too much because we do have it in other areas of the food bowl. I'm going to add some garlic powder. And then I'm going to add some curry powder. All right, we'll let that simmer for a little while. All right, so we got our mushrooms sauteing in a little olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Just tossing my potatoes and squash around, make sure they're getting cooked evenly. See that beautiful color of that turmeric? Butternut squash, cinnamon coming through. All right, the quinoa is all done. You just fluff it out with a fork. You can turn that off. All right, turn the heat down on that. The broccoli doesn't have to cook long, and you can pretty much season your broccoli with whatever you want to. Usually I would do a little garlic, but I did add garlic to the chickpeas. So I just use salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And that doesn't have to cook long, just to your liking as far as the texture. All right, so while the potatoes and the butternut squash are finishing up, you just give it a little bit of time and go relax for a little while. All right, so I wanted to make a little bit of a sauce to go on top of the ingredients. So we have agave here. Agave is a great alternative to honey because honey technically isn't vegan, so people utilize agave. But if you use honey, that's up to you. Put a little bit of soy sauce in there. And we're gonna put some brown sugar in there. And this is basically how you make teriyaki sauce. But I'm going to add a little bit more ingredients. So we're gonna add a little bit of honey. a little bit of mustard. This is vegan mayonnaise that I'm almost out of. Scoop some of that out. And I'm gonna stir that up. I'm gonna add a little bit of lime juice. A little garlic powder. Some pink Himalayan sea salt. And a little bit of oregano. All right, so here's our finished product. We have our red quinoa in the middle, curried chickpeas, broccoli, portobello mushrooms, sliced avocado, our roasted turmeric potatoes, and some roasted butternut squash. Add your sauce. And enjoy. Thank you for tuning in and joining me while we make this meal together. Remember, if it ain't made with love, I don't want it. If you enjoyed this video and want to follow me for more recipes, go on Instagram and search Damn Near Vegan.